Welcome to the City Show. Pat O Melia here. You there? That's why I do the show, because you're there. I try to inform you, educate you. What else am I trying to do? And entertain you. I can be an entertaining fellow. Don't forget everything you see on the screen. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and don't forget Livestream. That's our base streaming network. We archive all our shows there, and there's a ton of other programming. So you download the app, you enjoy all our stuff, and there's a bunch of other programming there. Now, we may have some programming changes coming up as it regards Comcast. Comcast has lost 25% of their subscribers in the last few years, yet their rates haven't gone down. For that matter, they're trying to get more money out of me. They're unaware of cord cutters. That's what it is, even though they lost 25% of their subscribers in the last few years. If they don't see the light of their contract renewal, we will only remain on Comcast for the Thursday 1:30 show. We'll drop Tuesday. I'll drop everything. I might even drop my Southern shows with Ready to Roll with Tom's River. We'll see how that goes. More and more people are going to the streaming, where YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, live stream. We're all over the place. Finally, summer is here, and the first sign of summer is Memorial Day. Remember, hold Memorial Day in your heart for those soldiers who laid down their lives so we can enjoy these freedoms. Make sure you keep that. Enjoy the holiday. Be safe. Finally, we got some decent weather. Actually, it's warm in the studio today, and I didn't even do the filters on the air conditioners. Get ready for the weekend. We got good weather. It's the spring and summer is finally here. It'll be interesting to see how the inflation affects the holiday weekend. Who's going to take a ride like down to Seaside Heights or Wildwood, Asbury Park, that sort of thing? Are you going to just stay in the city, in Hudson County? You're going to barbecue? But even barbecue, that's so expensive. And you go to the supermarkets, it's like we're a third world country. There are empty shelves. You got the baby, every other week is something. But when it comes to the baby formula problem, here's the issue. There aren't a lot of options for those kids. It's like, well, there's no chicken today. We can get turkey, or we can get a hamburger, or we can get something else. That's like the only thing a lot of these kids can have. So it's terrible absence of management occurring in this country right now. And hopefully we clear that up. The price of fuel, it's regular is $4.72 a gallon right now. I burn high test on my car, so I'm looking at $5.29 a gallon. It is very expensive. So if you can, try to enjoy this holiday weekend. We earned it after all the COVID. Let's break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
We're back, City Show. Actually, I'm wearing a light shirt. Actually, it's a short sleeve shirt. You can tell because there's no sleeves hanging out of my jacket. Again, try to enjoy the weekend. You guys, the holiday weekend, everybody earned it. Try to do something. Just stay at home. Whatever your budget can allow, do it. I know I come and take a ride down the shore. The fuel's expensive. The tolls have gone up like 50% in the last year or so. It's going to be very expensive to be in New Jersey. Our topics for today. May versus November elections. We just had the election in Bayonne, and you had some school board elections. And the turnout was kind of low in Bayonne, but we weren't breaking down any doors in Jersey City in November either. And we're going to talk about overdevelopment in Jersey City again. Really poor planning. And quick hits, we're going to talk about CarePoint hospitals. We're going to talk about Jersey City employment and training, some development in North Bergen, and the cost of fuel affecting everything, even Amazon. But let's start with the November elections. Like I said, we just had the election. Congratulations to the entire Davis team. That is astonishing in this day and age, where not only does the mayor get a third term, his entire ticket swept. The veterans on his ticket and the new people swept it. Yeah, and like I said in a recent show, I said I think a lot had to do with it. I'm not sure everybody realized it was contested because like we did the debate, and it was only Mayor Davis there. I thought there was a vibe to the election. I guess there wasn't because they only came out with something like 22% turnout. But like I said earlier, in New Jersey City, we're like 30%. Those are the people who come out and vote. They are the civically minded. They are the civically active. You got a large percentage of the population who just don't get involved. So before we start knocking the voter turnout, which should be better, remember, those are the people that are really interested. And we'll get further into that. I prefer the May versus November. I prefer local elections in May, like you just had in Bayonne, instead of what we did in Jersey City in November. Now, Jersey City is going to reconsider that. I can see us going back to May, especially when it comes to school board and the budget. But let's compare May elections to November. One of the problems with the November elections, again, how it pertains to local issues, is we get lost. Our issues get lost in the bigger picture. And that's why we always had the May and November elections. So local issues didn't get lost. In Jersey City, we used to have a saying, gets lost in the sauce. Muller's Egg Noodles. They were on Baldwin Avenue for a lot of years, and that was their motto. Their noodles don't get lost in the sauce. Our local issues get lost in the sauce. When we're there with the president and the governor and the state senators and the assembly people and the county people, all that, you get lost. There's just too much. And the other problem with the November is the runoffs. Now you have Christmas runoffs. And we're all fatigued and burned out by campaigns after the presidential and the governor and all the other things. We just don't have it in us to come out again right around Christmas time to vote. And that's what happened Ward C. It was very low turnout for the runoff. But we were burned out at that point. We were campaigning for 6 months at that point. And the Christmas, it just brings us Christmas runoffs and burnout. With the May elections, the local issues are the focus. Nothing to do with the federal or the state level, what's happening there, and they're all important. But the May gets you to focus on the local issues. Tip O'Neill once said, and it's one of the famous political lines, all politics are local. And to continue to be local, you need the May elections. In the May elections, you're focusing on the issues facing your home, your family, locally, your kitchen table issues. It's school budgets. The school, I think 38% of the Jersey City budget right now, the school tax bill, goes to the school. More than the city itself. Potholes, that's a big issue. These are the things that are affecting you daily, locally. Local taxes, it's getting expensive to live in Jersey City. Forget about affordable in Jersey City right now, or in Hudson County, for that matter. It's expensive, and it keeps going up and up and up, and if you don't control the school budget, you're going to go up quite a bit. In Jersey City, I guarantee you, next year, we're looking at $1 billion budget. Mayor Fulop has to do something. He can't sit back and say, well, I've got no control over this, separate elected board. He's got to do something. Appointed board, bring our elections back into May or April, I think. Well, you can put the May elections, the school board in May, so we can focus on that. We can vote on the budget. But like the local issues, local crime and parking, all those quality of life issues that affect you. And when the elections are in May, you get to know who these candidates are. When you're looking at a full ticket, say a mayoral election, in Jersey City, that's the mayor and 9 council people. You get to meet and see and hear and understand all 9 of them. When they're wrapped into November, I got county people, I got state people, I got assemblymen, state senators, I got the governor's people, I got a presidential possibly. We get lost in that. And that's what hurts the local elections. Your issues aren't really considered because we're thrown in there with everything else, going there row A, row B, that sort of thing. And November, with the elections in November, it brings out the convenient voters. Convenient voters are like convenient Catholics. Catholics who go to church on Easter Sunday and midnight mass. The rest of the year, they're not there. But they feel like, hey, I did my godly duties there by going to church on Easter Sunday and midnight mass. Those are the same people that will come out who have no idea what's going on locally or what the issues are, what's facing North Bergen or Jersey City or Bayonne. They'll come out and vote in the November election and upset your local race because they're not in tune with what's happening locally. That's why we always had May and June for the runoffs. When we moved to November, we lost all that. We lost the attention on those local issues. You had the election in November, and then we had runoffs like a week before May. Also, the May election brings money in. There's the campaigns, there's the printing, there's advertising, there's headquarter rentals, there's events they run. All that's money that it gets spent once when we combine everything. It's truly debatable, by the way. Are we saving any money by moving all our elections to November? I kind of doubt that. And like I said, we keep it in May. It's local focus. November, we just get lost in everything. Voter turnout, you could say it's low, but it's probably those are the people that are concerned about what's happening in their community. So they got skin in the game. They're definitely coming out to vote. Again, May elections brings the focus on local issues, and it brings the focus on you. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
I've got cancer.
We've got the highest level of cancer care,
the latest clinical trials,
researchers working to find a cure,
and nurse navigators to guide you every step of the way.
At New Jersey's only NCI-designated Comprehensive Cancer Center, your safety has always been our top priority.
I've got cancer, but I also have peace of mind.
Jersey City Medical Center and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Let's beat cancer together.
We're back. City Show here, Pat O Melia. Jersey City. Now, there's development going on all over Hudson County, but nothing like that's going on in Jersey City. I mean, every block. Every block is usually closed because of some development going on in Jersey City. Now I'm going to focus on major developments, 60 stories, 25 stories. But we're not paying attention to those 2-3 family homes. There's 2 family, but they're probably an illegal 3 family. We pay no mind to them, but they're going up on every other block. Try to get around Jersey City because of the constant construction going on, digging up the streets. We close streets in Jersey City for everything. Yeah, we gotta dig a water main. Boom. Got to deliver some sheetrock. Close the street. Water main. Close the street. Pizza. Close the street. Get that delivery guy in and out. There's development going on all over, and it's really, in my opinion, it's out of control. There's really no thought to it. When anybody can close the street. In the old days, we used to have the cops there. You don't have the cops there right now. It's just anybody with a road closed sign can close the street. You want to make sure you got parking at home? Get a road closed sign. But again, I'm going to focus on these large developments. Metro Plaza, that's where the ShopRite is down on Marin. Been going there for years. I kind of like the Hoboken one better. Actually, I go to the Hoboken one pretty much 90% of the time. Occasionally, we'll go to ShopRite down there. I can get in, because I'm in the Heights. It's closer to go to Hoboken. Where the ShopRite is down on Marin, where the Bath Bed and Beyond was, and the old Jersey City, the Wiz was, the Pep Boys was down there. I would go to the Wiz often. I went to the Pep Boys quite a bit. They were all gone, by the way, and Bed Bath & Beyond is gone. It's amazing. That's the effect of Amazon there. They're going to build a 60-story skyscraper. When you're at 60, you can be a skyscraper. And that will come with 102 units of housing, 2-bedroom, some studios, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom kind of deal. On Journal Square, we're having what's called the Irby. It's going to be built on 571 to 577 Summit Avenue, by Summit and Pravonia, because you really need more construction going over by Summit and Pravonia. We have a courthouse and the 3 towers are going up. And that 25-story building will have 317 units of housing. Again, studios, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. Just those 2 projects is 1,119 units. 1,119 units of housing. Let's say, for the sake, that half of those units, those 2 bedrooms or the 3 bedrooms, have children. Of course, you guarantee there's going to be some kiddies. Let's say half. That comes out to 560 kids. when these developments are done. And like I said, we talked about this a month ago. There's always another one of these. West Side's getting a bunch of these big developments all over the city, these huge developments. But again, don't ignore the 2 or 3 family homes that are being built, like 2 of at least on every block now. Where are these kids going to school? Just these 2 projects alone, we're talking 560 kids. Just saying half of the units have children. Where are they going to school? Not in Jersey City. We're booked. We're overcrowded as it is in our schools. There's no room. You know, we got trailers in the schoolyards already. There's no room for the kids we have here now. But yet, build it. Build, build, build. Put 3 towers here, put 60 stories there, 25 here. 10 or 12, 2, 3 family homes in a 3-block radius. Let's keep building a density up in Jersey City. Well, we ain't got no place for these people to go. The city would be strapped and will be strapped to provide city services. But just look at it from a school standpoint. These 2 projects alone, 560 kids. Where are they going to school? In downtown, what is that? The downtown project alone, Metro Plaza, will be 401 units. No, excuse me. That's 802 units. That would be 401 kids in downtown. 401 kids downtown where there is no room, no school. The schools they planned on building aren't coming. The deal fell through. 400 kids just in this one address will be coming to downtown. We don't have the schools for that. So why are we doing this? What is the mindset and the planning? Let's keep building these when we have no way in hell of providing for the needs of those residents. Our infrastructure, we have no mass transit in Jersey City. Everybody keeps saying, well, it's just right across the street from New York City. New York City has that subway. We got the path at the very edge of Jersey City. We don't have mass transit. We don't have buses anymore. You know, like I said many times in the old days, when people worked in Jersey City, there were buses everywhere. Kennedy Boulevard had a bus, Caulfield Avenue, Central, Montgomery Street, everybody, Bergen Avenue. Every main road in Jersey City had a bus. Not anymore. There's no classroom space in downtown, so where do these 401 kids go? Never comes up. And we keep proving these things. You know, somewhere along the line, you see this in other communities where they have the discussions of we can't handle any more diversity. You know, in Jersey City's case, we can't handle any more prosperity. We just can't deal with being any more successful. Because we're not even talking about on Route 440, Bayfront. Whoa, there's a lot of units coming on board there. Guess what? There aren't a lot of classroom space. No. There's not a lot of infrastructure down there. No. There's only, let's put a light rail in there. Well, light rail to where? This is bad planning. This is development with no thought or no concern for the future. What is going to happen in, say, 5 years? Because a lot of these projects coming online now, just that we're focusing on these major projects in the last month or so. But a lot of these are already, they're renting. Where do these kids go? Our schools are packed. You look down on 18th and Jersey Avenue. That was all commercial at one time. Used to have jobs involved there. Whoop, no jobs. It's all residential now. And you all have little kiddies and cars. And guess what? We don't have the parking and we don't have space in the classroom. Plus, our city services are strained as it is now. And you put more city services on, cost you money. So we have zero planning. I can see commercial properties going forward. I can see retail properties going forward because they don't depend as much on the city services and, of course, the schools as residential does. But we're not building any of those. We keep building residential. Fully aware we can't handle the influx. And these aren't, like I said before, this is not Jersey City people moving from the west side up to Journal Square or moving from the Heights to downtown. No, these are people coming from mainly New York City. They're escaping New York City and coming to Jersey City. But they're bringing the same problems they had in New York City with them. Just they don't have a subway now. But the overcrowding, all that's here. All right, let's break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center has a passion for heart health. We're Hudson County's only full-service heart hospital, with innovative technologies and premier cardiovascular physicians, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. Jersey City Medical Center.
We're back. Pat O Melia here. My ever-present coffee. Styrofoam cup. Try to buy a styrofoam cup somewhere. There'll be people on the street corner. Styrofoam cup. I'm never going to get used to the plastic bags. That's never going to happen. And I did what I said. We went food shopping 2 or 3 days ago. I just put everything, I took it out of the cart, put it on the conveyor belt, put it back in the cart, took the cart outside, bagged it in the outside the van. I had the van with me that day. We bagged it there. I'm running around with a bunch of plastic bags hanging out of my pockets. CarePoint Hospital System. That's Bayonne Hospital, Christ Hospital in Jersey City, and Hoboken Hospital in Hoboken. They are now officially a not-for-profit entity. What does that mean? Well, it kind of gives them a fresh start. Does that make them solvent? No. Not-for-profits go out of business too. So I agree with the maneuver. It helps them financially to a degree. They're going to have to pay, they paid property taxes before. Jersey City's, I don't know what the property taxes involved with Christ Hospital were, but we're not going to get the same amount. There's like a pilot program that the hospitals pay from, I guess about 4 years ago. A lot of the municipalities saying, with all the mergers from the hospitals, a lot of these hospitals were not-for-profit, but they were merging in with for-profits, and the state said, no. You're not putting for-profit under a not-for-profit umbrella and claiming not to pay property taxes anymore. So what Jersey City did, they negotiated like a pilot program with the Jersey City Medical Center. They pay about $100,000 to $600,000 a year, and that'll probably go up as they continue to develop the land down there at the JC Medical Center. Something like that will also occur with the CarePoint hospitals. Now, do they have another $500,000? I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. The landscapes of hospitals and healthcare in Jersey City has gone completely changed. It has gone, mainstream here. You have urgent care. You got Inglewood Hospital with a huge complex up at the old ADP building. They rented like 80,000 square feet. Every day you see the Jersey City Medical Center expanding out. You see Hackensack Meridian expanding out. You see the urgent cares popping up. It is a whole different game now. CarePoint may be late to that game. We'll have to see if they can play catch-up. They got the facilities. They got the personnel. The thing is that they have the pockets to make this work, and can they compete against RWJ Barnabas with the Jersey City Medical Center and Hackensack Meridian in Bergen County? And actually, North Bergen got Palisades Hospital, one of the few hospitals to receive an A from the Leapfrog Group recently. It is going to be interesting to see where CarePoint goes in the future. But they've got to put their foot on the gas and get back into the healthcare game here, because they were on the sidelines through all the legal, then selling the building, then the legal fights, and also ownership of the Bayonne Hospital. That's still coming into question. It'll be interesting to see how CarePoint does, but fortunately, Christ Hospital is saved, Hoboken at Bayonne, and it's good to have in Jersey City to have someone to compete against the Jersey City Medical Center instead of just having RWJ Barnabas, completely controlling healthcare in Jersey City. So at least there's something to play off there. Jersey City Employment and Training. Oh, how many times are we talking about them, right? Oh, we've talked about them many a time. Past directors going to jail, writing themselves checks. Jimmy McGreevy was down there He had to leave, and Sudan Thomas had to leave, and now we just lost the last director. She's leaving to take a job at a not-for-profit, and the city has announced that they're not going to replace her. They're not going to fill that position, which is probably makes sense. First of all, we should get some real numbers to show us, are people getting jobs in training? Because I always question the training that they were given. For a while, it was like sewing. What training are we doing? Here we have, off the top of my head, trucking. Trucking needs drivers. They are desperate for drivers. Or 18-wheelers, to straight jobs, to Q-band, all the degrees of CDL. Is Jersey City Employment and Training teaching anybody CDL, how to get a CDL license, and training them how to drive? Guaranteed they're not. Now, there is a business right now, trucking, that is hiring. Their sign-on bonuses. They're doing everything they can. Whether you want to drive over the road and see the country or local deliveries. One time I drove. You got to be able to put up with traffic. I don't have that mentality. But some people do. It's a good field. It pays well. Are we training people for that? No. Guarantee you. North Bergen, Mayor Sacco and his commissioners have declared Bergen Line Avenue between 85th and 87th Street an area in need of redevelopment. Now, I was just up at Braddock Park. This is by Braddock Park there on Bergen Line. I was filming the J.J. Braddock statue. And when I first got into radio, one of my first advertisers was James Vincent Bicycles. And in this location is where James, he sold the business now, but they're still using the same name. I would go up there and see James Vincent. He'd give me my check for the advertising. And his building always looked okay, and the condominiums that were there, they looked great. When I was up there filming the Braddock statue, and I rode by and noticed how run down those condos look. And the township of North Bergen is saying the same thing. So you have a vacant lot up there, and you got these rundown condominiums, and what they want to do, they want to redevelop that strip of Bergen Line Avenue, one of the real shopping districts in Hudson County that still is working out. It's still vital to the local communities. It still creates jobs, so I salute Mayor Sacco and the commissioners. Yeah, develop it. Plus, you're right across the street from the park, and that's a great park also. So go to it there, North Bergen. And the cost of fuel. Like I said in the beginning of the show, I don't know how that's going to affect this holiday weekend coming up. But Amazon, this past weekend, actually I enjoy going to work because I work more on the weekends than I do at work. I was working on the cars. I was washing the cars. I wanted the compound one and buff it, and I didn't have the compounding. I wanted a certain one, and I really wanted a better buffer. The one I had is an old one, big buffer. Thing's heavy. So they got new ones. So it was like $60 for this buffer. So I got the compound buffer, and I needed ink for my printer. And I get a notice they were all shipped, and all of a sudden I get another notice a couple days later that all the items were on hold, and I get a notice yesterday that all my items are now being bunched together, all being put together and shipped out at once. That is the effect on the high fuel prices affecting even Amazon. They're going to bundle all the deliveries as best they can, which they should. All right, we're out of the show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.